James Hale woke up to the sound of burning metal. Smoke filled the air, and a sharp pain ran through his body. When he opened his eyes, he did not see Earth. He did not even see a normal planet. Instead, he found himself lying in a wide purple desert, glowing softly under 3 huge moons. The ground shook every few seconds, as if the world itself was breathing. His ship, the Starlance, lay behind him in broken pieces. Sparks jumped from the destroyed engines, and parts of the hull were still on fire. James pushed himself up, coughing hard. His suit was damaged. His helmet visor was cracked. His head spun. But he was alive. He tried calling out for his crew. Dara? Malik? Captain? No answer. Only silence. James forced himself to walk around the crash site. He checked every body he could find. They were all gone. No one else had made it. He swallowed hard. He had never felt so alone in his life. Then something moved. At first, he thought it was smoke. But then he heard a soft, weak sound, like a child crying. James grabbed a metal bar from the wreckage and followed the sound. He stepped carefully around fallen debris until he saw a small shape lying between 2 rocks. It was not human. It was a girl, but her skin looked like silver glass, shining even in the dark. Her hair floated in the air as if underwater. Strange marks glowed faintly across her arms. She was bleeding, her body trembling with pain. When James stepped closer, her violet eyes opened. They were full of fear. Before he could speak, a deep horn echoed across the desert. Then another. Then many. James looked toward the horizon. Black shapes appeared, marching in rows. They carried long glowing weapons. Their armor was dark and heavy. Their helmets had sharp red eyes that glowed like fire. They were soldiers. Hundreds of them. And they were coming straight toward the crash site. The alien girl tried to sit up, but she fell back with a weak cry. She pointed at the soldiers and whispered something in a language James did not understand. But he did not need to understand the words. He understood the fear. They were not coming to rescue her. They were coming to kill her. James looked from the girl to the approaching army. He had a choice, leave her and run, or carry her and risk everything. He did not know who she was. He did not know why she was hurt. But he could not leave her to die. He dropped the metal bar and lifted her in his arms. She was lighter than he expected, almost weightless. She grabbed his suit weakly and whispered one single word. Run. James did not think. He just ran. The ground exploded behind him as energy blasts hit the sand. The soldiers shouted in a language he could not understand. Their footsteps shook the desert. Laser fire lit the night sky blue and white. James ran between broken rocks and crashed metal parts, breathing hard. The alien girl's heartbeat felt weak against his chest. Sweat dripped down his face. His legs burned with pain, but he pushed himself harder. The soldiers were fast. Too fast. Their glowing weapons cut through the air with deadly accuracy. Every blast came closer. Every second felt like his last. James kept running. As he reached a ridge of rocks, he looked back. The soldiers had reached the crash site. When they saw he was gone, they roared in anger. Then they began to chase him again. James tightened his hold on the girl. He did not know why he survived. He did not know why she was important. But he knew one thing for sure. This was no normal rescue. This was a trap. And he was now part of something much bigger than he understood. Above him, the 3 moons glowed like watching eyes. James ran into the night, unaware that the girl in his arms would one day change the galaxy, and that an alien queen would soon bow before him. The creature who spoke his name. James ran as fast as he could, the alien girl in his arms. The desert was vast, and the 3 moons cast long shadows over the cracked ground. He did not know where he was going. He did not know what waited ahead. All he knew was that if the soldiers caught them, they would both die. After a few minutes, he spotted a small cave. The entrance was hidden behind jagged rocks. James ran inside, dragging the girl with him. He laid her down gently on the smooth stone floor. She moaned softly, her violet eyes half closed. Blood had soaked through her silver tunic. James looked around. The cave was empty. No lights. No sounds. Only the quiet dripping of water somewhere deep inside. He let out a shaky breath. For a moment, it felt safe. The girl stirred. Her eyes opened fully. She stared at James with a strange intensity. Then, in a voice that sounded almost like music, she spoke. James. James froze. His own name. Out of her mouth. In a language he did not know, but somehow understood. I don't understand, he said, his voice trembling. How do you know my name? She struggled to sit up, pain flashing across her face. Because you are not just a human, she whispered. You carry what they feared, and what they hoped for, in your blood. James frowned. His mind raced. What did she mean? My blood? Look, I don't know who you are, or what this is, but I just want to survive. The girl tilted her head, her glowing eyes piercing into him. Survive? She said softly. You will do more than survive. You will change everything. My people, they call it the awakening. And it is inside you. James shook his head. Awakening? What are you talking about? I am just a pilot. I didn't ask for this. She looked around nervously. They are coming. I can feel them. The soldiers are faster than you think, and they will not stop. But, you can save me, and perhaps, save them too. James felt a cold shiver. Why? Why me? She gasped. Because, you are the first human in 1,000 cycles to carry the signal of the first king. You are in their legends. You are the one who can awaken the bloodline. You are, she hesitated. The father. James stared at her. Every word sounded impossible. He was a pilot. Not a god. Not a legend. Not anyone important. Yet her eyes told him something he could not deny, she believed him. A sudden sound outside the cave made them both freeze. The soldiers had found the entrance. Shadows stretched across the walls as their glowing weapons shone through the cracks. James grabbed a jagged rock. His hands were shaking. Then we fight, he said, more to himself than to her. I don't know how, but we fight. The girl nodded weakly. No. You cannot fight them with weapons. Only the signal inside you can stop them, if you can wake it. James swallowed hard. The weight of the truth hit him. He had no idea how to awaken anything inside him. He did not even know it existed. And yet, the fate of this alien girl, and perhaps an entire civilization, depended on it. The soldiers were getting closer. James felt fear squeeze his chest. But beneath the fear, something else began to rise, determination. He would not fail. He would not let her die. And he would not run anymore. He looked down at the girl, her small hand reaching for his. We'll make it, he said firmly, though he did not know if it was true. Somewhere deep in him, something stirred. A strange warmth, a pulse, a rhythm he had never felt before. And for the first time since the crash, James felt different. He was not just a human anymore. He was becoming more. And the galaxy would soon take notice. The cave shook as the soldiers began to force their way in. James gritted his teeth. He held the girl close. He had no weapons, no reinforcements, only his courage, and whatever power slept inside him. The chase was not over. It had only just begun. The truth buried in his blood. James and the alien girl ran through the narrow tunnels of the cave. Outside, the alien soldiers were still searching. Their red eyes flashed in the darkness, and the sound of their heavy footsteps echoed like thunder. James clutched the girl tightly. Every step sent pain through her body. Finally, they reached a hidden chamber deep underground. The walls glowed faintly with ancient symbols. The girl sank to the floor, exhausted. James knelt beside her. "My name is Saris," she whispered. "I need to tell you the truth, before they catch us." James nodded. "Go ahead. I need to know." Saris took a deep breath. "Long ago, thousands of cycles ago, my people were not born as they are now. They were created. Using human DNA. The greatest humans, the bravest humans, the smartest humans, mixed together. They became the first rulers, the first kings and queens of my world." James stared. "You mean, your civilization, comes from humans?" Saris nodded weakly. "Yes. And now, you are their descendant. Not fully, but your DNA matches the one they called the first king. You are, the living myth." James laughed, but it came out hollow. "A myth? I'm just a pilot. I crashed on your planet by accident." Saris shook her head. "No. It was not an accident. The signal in your blood, it chose this planet. It chose you. That is why you survived the crash. That is why I survived beside you. And that is why the soldiers want you dead, and why some will worship you if they find you alive." James pressed his hands to his head. "I don't understand. Why me? Why now?" Saris looked at him with glowing violet eyes. "Because the awakening is coming. My people are in chaos. They fought among themselves for centuries. They need the first king's signal, the one inside you, to unite them. Without it, my people will destroy themselves. And if the signal is misused, it could destroy both our worlds." James swallowed hard. He could feel the weight of her words pressing on his chest. He had never been a hero. He had never been important. And now, the fate of an entire civilization, perhaps more than one, rested in his hands. "Then what do I do?" he asked quietly. Saris smiled faintly. "First, you must understand the truth about yourself. There is a power inside you. It is not magic. It is not technology. It is who you are. Your blood carries the memories, the courage, and the knowledge of the first king. You can awaken it. You can speak to my people without words. You can lead them, or destroy them." James looked at her, fear and confusion fighting in his mind. "And if I fail?" Saris reached out and touched his hand. "Then my world dies. But you will not fail. I can feel it, your heart is strong. And I will help you." Just then, a tremor ran through the ground. Dust fell from the ceiling. The alien soldiers had found the hidden chamber. They were close. James helped Saris to her feet. "Then we move now. I don't know how to awaken anything, but I will protect you. I promise." Saris nodded. "You must listen to your blood. Trust it. And you must act fast. They are relentless." James held her close. He could feel her fear, her pain, and her hope. He did not know how to awaken the power inside him. He did not know if he was ready. But one thing was certain, he would not run. He would not hide. He was no longer just James Hale, pilot. He was something more. And the galaxy would soon learn the truth buried in his blood. Outside the chamber, the alien soldiers were pounding on the walls. Their voices screamed commands. Weapons hummed, ready to fire. James took a deep breath. He tightened his grip on Ceres. "This ends now," he said, his voice low and steady. "Whatever I have inside me, it will awaken. And they will see, a human can be more than they ever imagined." The ground shook again. The glow of the ancient symbols brightened. James felt a pulse through his veins. Something deep inside him was stirring. He looked at Ceres. "Are you ready?" She nodded, her eyes shining with hope and fear. James stepped forward. The first wave of soldiers broke into the chamber. And the first hint of his true power began to awaken. The throne room of terror. James felt the pulse of power growing stronger in his veins as he and Ceres escaped the cave tunnels, leaving the alien soldiers behind in confusion. Every step he took seemed to awaken something ancient, something deep inside him. He didn't fully understand it, but he could feel it responding to the presence of Ceres, to the cries of her people, to the echoes of a civilization lost in time. Finally, after hours of careful movement through twisting underground passages, they reached the alien capital. It was enormous, a city of metal towers and glowing spires. The streets were empty, silent under the pale light of the three moons. James's heart pounded as they approached the central palace, a massive structure carved from black stone and shining crystal. Ceres guided him to a hidden entrance. "We must go inside quietly," she whispered. "The Queen will decide our fate." James nodded, gripping her hand tightly. He had no idea what awaited them, but he had no choice but to follow. Every instinct told him that this moment would change everything. They entered the throne room. The air was heavy, thick with the scent of strange herbs and burning crystals. Torches of blue fire lined the walls, casting long, flickering shadows. And there, on a raised platform, sat the alien queen. She was unlike anything James had ever seen. Her skin shimmered like liquid silver. Her eyes glowed a soft violet, yet they burned with a terrible authority. Long, intricate robes of black and gold draped her massive frame. Her voice was calm, but every word carried the weight of 1,000 storms. "You have come," she said, her gaze piercing straight into James. "I have heard of your deeds, human. And of the girl you carry. Speak. Why have you entered my city?" James stepped forward, his pulse steady despite the fear coursing through him. I protect her," he said. "I don't know why I am here, or what power I carry, but I will not let anyone hurt her." The queen rose, towering over the room. She circled them slowly, her eyes never leaving James. "You are not just any human," she said. "The blood of the first king flows through you. My people have waited centuries for your return. Some feared you. Some hoped for you. And now, you stand before me." James felt a shiver run through his body. He had never felt so small, yet so important, at the same time. "What do you want from me?" he asked quietly. The queen stopped, raising a hand. "I want nothing from you. You will choose your path. You may leave, or you may rise. You may bring peace, or destruction. The fate of my civilization rests in your hands." James looked at Ceres, who gave him a small nod of encouragement. He felt the pulse inside him respond, stronger than ever. Images flashed in his mind, wars fought and lost, civilizations rising and falling, voices of humans and aliens merging into one. The power was real. It was inside him. The queen knelt before him. Her silver skin gleamed under the moonlight. "You are the father of my civilization," she whispered. "And I bow to you, James Hale." James froze. He had never imagined such a thing. A human, worshipped by an alien queen. And yet, he could feel the truth of it, the energy in his blood confirming every word. "My people," the queen continued, "are ready to follow you. You have the choice to lead, or to walk away. But know this, once you take the throne, the galaxy itself will watch. Your decisions will shape the stars. James's mind raced. Every fear, every doubt, every memory of being just a simple pilot clashed with the reality before him. He could run. He could refuse. Or he could accept and become more than any human had ever been. He looked at Ceres. She had survived the impossible because of him. And now, an entire civilization awaited his command. James took a deep breath. The pulse inside him surged, stronger, louder, calling him forward. I, he said, voice firm, will not destroy your people. But I will not be your pawn either. I will protect them. I will guide them. And together, we will rise. The Queen's eyes glowed brighter. Then let the galaxy tremble, she said. For the first king walks again. The chamber shook. Lights flashed across the walls. Outside, the citizens of the alien world watched as the throne room lit up with power unlike anything they had seen in centuries. James had made his choice. The galaxy would never be the same. The choice that shakes the galaxy. James stood in the throne room, the alien queen kneeling before him, the pulse of the first king's power coursing through his veins. The glow of the 3 moons reflected on the black crystal walls, and the entire alien city seemed to hold its breath. Outside, the soldiers and citizens watched, waiting for a sign of what their new leader would do. Ceres stepped forward, her eyes shining with hope and fear. James, the soldiers will not accept your decisions easily. There are factions ready to fight you. Some will follow, others will rebel. And, the humans, they will come, looking for answers. The galaxy is watching you now. James clenched his fists. The weight of it all pressed down on him. He had a choice, run, rule, or rewrite the future of 2 species. He could leave and let the alien civilization fall into chaos. He could stay and force them to obey. Or he could lead with wisdom, guiding both humans and aliens toward a new future. The Queen's voice echoed in the throne room. You may leave, James. You may claim the throne. But know this, every decision will change the course of history. My people, your people, the galaxy, all await you. James looked down at Ceres. She had survived the crash, the soldiers, and the caves because of him. She believed in him. And somewhere deep inside, he felt the power that had been sleeping for centuries, awakening fully. It was not just strength. It was knowledge, courage, and understanding. I will not run, James said quietly, but with firm determination. I will not rule them like a tyrant. I will protect them. I will guide them. Together, we will create a future neither humans nor aliens could imagine alone. The Queen rose slowly. Her eyes glowed brighter, and she extended her hand toward him. Then it is done. My civilization is yours to protect. Lead them well, father of my people. James reached out and took her hand. A surge of energy rushed through him. It was unlike anything he had ever felt. Symbols of power appeared in the air, glowing lines connecting him to the city, to the soldiers, to Ceres, and to the very history of this alien world. The pulse of the first king was now fully awakened. Outside, the citizens of the alien city knelt in awe, and the soldiers lowered their weapons, recognizing the truth in his presence. The galaxy itself seemed to pause, waiting for the next move. James turned to Ceres. We must unite your people and mine. The soldiers, the citizens, the humans, they all need to understand that we are not enemies. We are one future. Together. Ceres smiled, tears in her eyes. I knew you would be the one, she whispered. James looked around the throne room. He could feel the weight of responsibility, but he also felt hope. For the first time, he understood that being human did not mean being small. It meant choosing what to become, even in the face of impossible odds. The Queen stepped back, allowing James to stand at the center of the room. The pulse inside him grew stronger, and visions of the galaxy appeared before him, stars, planets, civilizations, wars, and alliances. He could see paths that led to peace, and paths that led to destruction. He took a deep breath. "We will rise together," he said loudly, so every citizen and soldier could hear. "Humans and aliens. Our future is shared. And we will protect it, no matter the cost." A cheer rose across the city. The soldiers knelt, the citizens bowed, and Ceres took his hand, joining him at the center of the room. The alien queen smiled. "The galaxy will remember this day," she said softly. "For the father of our civilization has awakened." James felt the pulse calm within him. The weight of the first king's power settled into his being, not as a burden, but as a guide. He was no longer just a human, no longer just a survivor. He was a leader, a protector, and the bridge between two worlds. And as the moons glowed overhead, the galaxy seemed to hold its breath, watching the dawn of a new era. James Hale had made his choice. And the universe would never be the same again.